Hello and welcome to another video by Black Bear Dog Trading. Today is Monday, January 6th of the new year. Man, will this time fly. Anyhow, in the last video I uploaded, I explained the MACCI method, and I also went through the configurations that you needed to trade with that method, as well as I explained what all these little things here mean at the trading panel. Today I'm going to go over the support and resistance breakout as well as the retracement strategy excuse me, and how that will work if you want to trade with that particular strategy. First thing we need to do is to deactivate the MACCI method and activate the support and resistance routine. So we open up our little setup by clicking on the smiley face. We go to trade MACCI and set this to no. And now we activate either one. By the way, retracement or breakout works exactly the same way. So the rules are the same. They do not work the same way. One is continuation, the other one is pullback. So I'll go over it in a minute so you're clear on it. But the strategy basically operates the same way. So we activate this to yes, and we say now we go down to where we have the configuration for the actual support and resistance breakout. Here we go. I already explained that display SNR label means that it will show you the actual support and resistance label in addition to the actual support and resistance line. This is totally up to you if you want to have that or not. The look back is how far back you want to see support and resistance levels. Obviously, the bigger you, the more bars you put here, the further back you will look, and the bot will give you greater and greater resistance and support ratios. Personally, I like to keep it current. I want to have the most recent support and resistance because that's what the routine is based on. Then you just adjust your colors the way you would like to have them, as well as the actual line, what kind of line you would like to have, and how wide or how thick you want the line to be. At this point in time, personally, I would not change a thing. I would leave this the way it is and just click on OK. Now you'll notice that at the next tick, the bot will automatically draw in the most recent support and resistance levels. And I chose not to display the labels, so this is what it looks like. Now, before I actually explain a little bit about the control panel, let me first detail what is retracement and what is resistance. So, I'm sorry, what is breakout? It's actually very simple. A support, which we see right here, is where price has reached a ceiling that we see a ceiling where it supposedly can't go any lower. Where resistance, it has reached a level, I should say, not a ceiling, a level where it can't go any higher. And now price is kind of fluctuating back and forth in between this space right here. And so retracement is when price moves up to the top of resistance, let's say, and once it reaches the resistance level, it bounces back and it goes down. And that would be a sell opportunity. The same is true the other direction. Price reaches the support level, it bounces back up, and this would create a buy opportunity. This is in a very nutshell explanation what retracement is, relying on support and resistance levels. So what is breakout? Breakout is the exact same approach, except rather than having a, let's say it reached support and now it bounced back and it goes back up, what breakout is that once it reaches support or resistance, price may for a little bit kind of bounce here and then continues on support, past support, which would give us a sell opportunity. The same when price reaches the resistance level, it may bounce for a little bit and it continues upwards, and now it gives us a buy opportunity. That is also in a nutshell what a breakout means. So it is very easy to understand. It's also when you know your support level and your resistance levels, it is very easy to follow where we are. In fact, if I look at right now, just a glance, by having the resistance level and support levels already automatically drawn in by my bot, just looking at this, I can tell we're sitting stuck right here. We're flat right now. We're not going anywhere. So we're almost halfway between support and resistance level. There is nothing happening. Now I can try a different currency pair and let's see what that would give us. And then just so you get an idea, okay, here we go. As you notice, support and resistance levels are automatically adjusted, but the same thing, we're kind of sitting sideways here as well, although we're a bit closer to the resistance level. We're not in a position to do any trade of any kind. Now, one thing I want to point out, if you use support and resistance to do the retracement, then the way you should work this is that you should always set your take profit, or at least your take partial profit, at half or midpoint between the resistance and the support level. What do I mean with that? Well, just for argument's sake, let's say that price, well, like here is a prime example. Price reached the resistance level, it then started to down. Hypothetically, we enter the sell position. We would set our partial profit or even complete take profit at about halfway or midpoint between the distance of the resistance and the support level, which is exactly right about here. So at this point, once price continues to go down and reaches this level, I suggest you then either take at least a partial profit, possibly even closing the order completely altogether. That is, of course, a personal decision for you to make. Personally, I'll tell you what I do. If I do trade retracement, support and resistance retracement, I usually take my partial profit, which is preset in my setup, and I let it run. I adjust my stop loss accordingly, and then I just let it run. I don't bother closing it out. I take my partial profit, like I said. I readjust my stop loss so that I cannot have a losing trade no matter what, and then I'll take it from there and see what happens. But that is my suggestion, that you stay at least at the halfway midpoint here for taking profit, or taking a partial profit, or closing your order altogether. Now, as far as breakout is concerned, let's just say that we have price had hit right here, and that it would have, instead of retracing up like it did, let's say that it would have gone below support, and it continued nicely downhill. So we had a beautiful sell opportunity. Well, where would I then set my take profit or close my order? Well, I would set that at the next support level, which would now be a resistance level. And let me show you what I mean with that. If I shrink my chart down further down, I can tell that my next resistance level, which is now a support level, is there is one here, and there is a really big one right here. So what I like to do during a breakout, I would set the first level as my partial profit. Writing with this thing is not so easy, I gotta say. But here you go. All right, doesn't really look like it. There we go. Partial profit, and I would take my second setting as closing the order altogether. So that's how I would trade this. The same would be true for a breakout on the upswing, and I would look for the next highest level, which in this case here, it seems that we are basically already there because we have quite a hefty, quite several points to trigger the ceiling. However, presuming that yet again price would not have gone retraced over here, but would have continued upwards, this would have made a nice sell opportunity. I would have done the exact same thing. Here is where I can see my first resistance level, which now which is actually support in the past, but will now become resistance level. And here is pretty close a second one. Or I could ignore this and go to one a little higher up, which is right around here. It really is a personal preference, but I certainly would take the very first one, and at the very first one, I would do just like I had a retracement to the downswing. I would absolutely take a partial profit at the very least, and then I would just let my position run until I either reach my second level or the stop loss gets triggered, whichever one comes first. This is how I suggest you trade this as well. Please rewatch this video a few times if you have to. It sounds like it's complex and it sounds like it's a lot of information. It really isn't. It really is simple. So don't be bogged down by, thinking that, oh my God, you're never going to get this. I promise you, you will. Practice it a few times. If this is the way you want to trade, it really is straightforward. More than anything, patience. Patience, my dear Watson. That's what you need. Now, as far as the panel is concerned, as with the MACCI strategy, it shows you what trading routine you're in. In this case, we are in breakout, which means that the bot will notify you once price goes above resistance or price goes below support. And then it's up to you to see if this is a valid entry and either click on the button to enter a buy position or enter a sell position if appropriate. It really is that simple. You don't really have to do anything other than just considering when to take profit and when to close the order, because the bot does all the nitty-gritty for you, the analysis, that is. As far as the panel is concerned, the bot will give you a few indicators where you are as far as in your breakout routine, where price is heading, what the most likely outcome will be. Of course, this is never 100% accurate because price fluctuates, markets fluctuate, they do their own crazy thing, but it gives you an idea. And in this case, what it's telling me is lot size, spread, and profit ratio. That is always there. These three fields information fields will never disappear. And then it tells you that the moving average is heading towards resistance. That means that the moving average at this point is closer to the resistance than it is to support, which could indicate a possible continuation of price reaching resistance. And based on how strong our trend is at that moment, when it reaches resistance, possibly pushing through and creating a breakout. It also shows you, however, that price is below the moving average, so that is not a very strong signal. Finally, it tells us that the bar is a bull bar, which is good. But in order for this to really be a strong signal that breakout is about to happen, is that the MA should be moving towards resistance, the price should be above the moving average, and the bar should be a bull. Those are the three criteria that must be met. Once again, as when price reaches, in this case, resistance, the bot will notify you that you have a possible buy opportunity. The same happens when price reaches support. This is the explanation for support and resistance breakout or retracement. The information displayed on the panel is the exact same for the retracement strategy. And yeah, you decide which one you like best. You can only trade one at a time. And after that, you see which one suits you best. Tomorrow, we'll talk over the M and W pattern, or the double top, double bottom pattern, as it's also known. And then after that, we're going to focus on actual trading. Okay, this is it for today. As always, take care of yourself, stay safe, and God bless.